What's up, my friends? Welcome back, and I hope you had an awesome summer break. Can't wait to share with you my summer break. I made a little video to share and recap some of the things that I did, and normally I try to keep it to about 2 minutes, but this year I did so many things that I had to give myself a little more time. So here's my summer recap in 5 minutes. Let's check it out. Our first weekend of summer break, we went on our first whole family river adventure. That's right, I took all 4 of my kids on the Broad River paddleboarding and kayaking, and we had a picnic on a rock and a really fun time. Next up, we finished up a house project and got a new patio just in time for summer break. After that, the first week of our break, I went up to Kentucky with one of my best friends, Coach Nellums, who some of you might know from Later Gators, and we shared some ideas with a bunch of cool PE teachers in the biggest school district in the state of Kentucky. After the session was over, we went on a 12-mile bike ride from Kentucky to Indiana and then back to Kentucky again. We found a super cool skate park along the way. On the way back to South Carolina, we stopped for some adventures and went ziplining at the Red River Gorge. We got to race each other for about a 300-foot zip over the gorge. Unfortunately, right here you can see on one of the zip lines, I accidentally turned sideways, lost all my speed, and then went backwards all the way back into the middle of the canyon and had to get rescued. Oh, no. So embarrassing. But don't worry, it didn't happen again for the rest of the trip. Once we got home, it was time for T-ball season, and I watched 2 of our boys play our first season of T-ball. I learned the rules of 3 to 5-year-old T-ball are everybody gets a hit, there's no outs, and always throw it to first base. Now it's time for our first family trip. We're going to spend 2 days at Dollywood Theme Park in Tennessee. We got to ride some roller coasters and rides, and don't forget going on some tubes at the water park and going to the wave pool. On the way home, we found a really cool rock climbing gym in Tennessee that had an American Ninja Warrior course and a trampoline park. It was so much fun. Next trip we took was with my big family, my parents and my brother's family, to the mountains of North Georgia. We spent some time fishing, playing in the creek, and we even got to hike to the highest waterfall in Georgia called Amicalola Falls. It was really beautiful. After that, we took a 5-mile river trip down the Cartacea River. We got to tube, kayak, and paddleboard down some really fun whitewater rapids. Now we made it to July. From North Georgia, we drove straight to my aunt and uncle's horse farm in Tennessee. To celebrate with the family, we rode some horses, we drove some tractors, we went snorkeling in the creek, even got to practice throwing some axes, and guess what? Another whitewater rafting paddleboarding trip down a river called the Hiawassee River. We really like being on the river if you haven't noticed yet. It was a really beautiful river through the mountains with some ice cold water. Here's me when I wiped out, almost knocked my 3-year-old off into the middle of a rapid, and then he decided he didn't like riding with me on the paddleboard anymore. I was a little bit offended, but honestly, it was probably a good call on his part. Oh, we also, of course, ate a bunch of cheeseburgers and shot some fireworks. Go America. When we got home from that trip, we were tired, but I did do some river surfing on my own and with my kiddos to warm up for our last trip of the summer, which was, guess what? Going to the National Whitewater Center in Charlotte. On the way out, we stopped at a new river project in a town called Great Falls, South Carolina, to check it out on our paddleboards, and it was a lot of fun too. When we finally got to Charlotte, I was so impressed. It was awesome. They have everything that you could ever want to do: rock climbing, zip lining, mountain biking, kayaking, and rafting. We did whitewater rafting and had so much fun. You want to see the time I fell out of the raft? Here you go. Yep, that's me, and yep, there I go. We had so much fun rafting. We went back the next day to watch all the other rafters from the sides and saw so many of them flip over. It was so much fun to watch. I also got inspired to go back and try to surf on my paddleboard the next day and spend about 3 hours straight just falling and wiping out over and over and over until finally, yes, finally, I was able to catch a wave for about 20 seconds. It was totally worth it. And that is my summer recap, friends. Sorry it took me so long. I had to pack so many things in, but I hope that you can tell that I had a lot of fun adventures this summer. I wanted to show you that because that's what PE is all about. PE is about learning the skills and the knowledge and building the confidence that you need to pursue whatever adventures you want to do for the rest of your life, even when you're old like Coach Landers. And in PE this year, we're gonna mess up a lot. We're gonna make a lot of mistakes, just like I did when I was surfing on those waves. We're gonna keep getting back up. We're gonna keep on learning, and we're gonna do our best and forget the rest. Can't wait to have an awesome year with you this year in PE, and let's get started.
It's go time.
Let's go!